Today we'll be visiting the Purdue University Center for Cancer Research, located in the Hands-on Life Science Research Building. We'll be conducting an interview with the Director of Development, Timothy Barbillo, and we'll also be taking a tour of a laboratory in this building.
Background information on the center. Purdue has a National Cancer Institute designated cancer center, the Purdue Center for Cancer Research. And what that means is that the National Cancer Institute is an arm of the National Institutes of Health. And back in the 70s, they decided to start this National Cancer Center program where they would designate the top centers in the country, and then they would receive funding through that and other resources. There are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of cancer centers in the country. You and I could start a cancer center, and we could treat patients, and we could do research, and we could help families. But of all of those hundreds of centers, only 64 are NCI centers, National Cancer Institute centers. So we are one of the top 65. And of those 65, there are 7 that are basic research centers. That's what we do. We don't treat patients. We don't have a hospital here. Okay. People want to help to stop this problem because it's affected them personally. They lost their mom to breast cancer. They lost their grandfather to colon cancer. They lost their sister to ovarian cancer. So what can we do? As a matter of fact, sitting right next door is Dr. Tim Ratliff, the director of the center. He came here about 4 years ago. He grew up out in the woods, loved to just run and hike and loved nature. And truly intended to spend his career as a field biologist. And he was in graduate school going that direction when his father died of cancer. Within a year, his father-in-law died of cancer. And he said, "This is crazy.
Yeah,
I've got to do something."
It was family inspiration, basically.
Absolutely. And he changed his career because of that. And now he's one of the outstanding cancer researchers in the world. So it affected him to such a degree that he is now in that field. And there are other researchers with similar stories, unfortunately, that they're doing this because of how cancer affected us. We appreciate every gift we get. We get literally, last year we had over 5,000 gifts to us. We had 7 gifts of $1. 7 different people sent us $1. Well, that was terrific. That was what they thought they could do to help us, and I appreciate that. Anybody that gives us money is helping advance this research. So I think the best way to talk to somebody about it is just to learn what their passion is, to learn what their story is, and help them understand that this is a great place to make a difference.
Now, I'd ask you right now that if you'd get that $10,000, where and how would you allocate it?
Well,
that particular sum of $10,000.
So $10,000. So to run we'd like to take money and help contribute to novel research. So one of the scientists might come to the director and say, "I have the hypothesis I'd like to pursue, and I need some funding." And most of the funding that supports these researchers comes from outside sources, NCI, NIH, DOD, any of these government sources. And then also from some large foundations. But quite often, in order to apply for that type of funding, you need some data. You have to have done some research.
Precisely.
And so to get started to gather that data, you have to do some research. So that's why taking a sum like $10,000 would help support that novel research.
There's some studies that we do, and we needed a specific model, and Scott can give you the whole story about that, and a specific model for a disease. So what they do is they build the construct of the gene that they need, and then they downstairs Julie Hallett, essentially what they'll do is they put that construct inside an egg, a fertilized egg,
yeah,
and then the whole that will go
off, you can, yeah,
and then you get the mouse with the gene
inside.
but to make sure that you have the gene you want, all the mice that will test positive, they will start being crossbred, and that Tripty does a lot of that work where she mates the mice and see the progeny, how many are pure, and they keep working till we get the right combination. Exactly. And she does
more and more specialized, because we're beyond the old days of just developing drugs that kill fast-growing cells. And pretty much up to the year 2000s or the late 1990s, we were still developing drugs that were simply killing fast-growing cells. Everything from the anti-metabolites and methyltrexates to the vancomycin, vincomycin, all those drugs that have been developed over the years, all designed to kill fast-growing cancers. Well, some cancers are not fast-growing. They're normal growing. I mean, they have a normal growth rate. They're invasive and they get up. So a lot of times those chemo drugs are not effective. So what really happened in the 1990s was this trend toward kind of tailored design therapies for different types of cancers. And the Purdue Center for Cancer Research.
Our mission is discovery.
Our goal is to cure cancer.